Okay, let's start. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Visamstapitanyena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sadhana Raghunatam Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopisha Gopika Kantara Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavanishare Vishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakapatarubhyascha Kipasindubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So let's continue from where we stop. So where did we stop?
Chapter 5, text 6, Prabhu.
Yeah, so today we're going to 7. Thank you.
Yes.
So we are supposed to recite our shloka. So we have 5 minutes to recite, all of you to recite, just 5 minutes. Okay, so the time starts now.
I'll go, Prabhuji. 5.18. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichaiva Chapake Cha Pandita Samadarshina. Translation. The humble sages, by the virtue of true knowledge, one sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. Outcast. Hare Krishna.
Haribo, thank you.
I want to go next, Prabhu. Bhagavad Gita chapter 5, text 18. Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater outcast.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much.
I'll go next, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 5, text 18. Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavihastini Shanichaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshanaha. Translation. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. Outcast. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Those who are not speaking, you are wasting time. Once it's 5 o'clock, I will off it.
I'll go next, Prabhu.
Please.
Okay, chapter 5, verse 18. Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavihastini Shnichaiva Supakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Translation. The humble sages. I forgot. 1 second. The humble sages, by the virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater outcast. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Vidya Vinaya, okay, Prabhu. 5.18. Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavihasini Sunichaiva Pakesha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Translation. By humble translation. The humble sages. Mata, can you please? Sorry, Prabhu. I'm distracted.
I understand. I can see the distraction behind you.
Sorry, Prabhu. Okay, I will start again. The translation, the humble sages, by virtue of their knowledge,
The only thing is that you are taking others' time. Go ahead.
by virtue of their knowledge, see with equation, a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater outcast. My goodness.
Okay, Prabhu, I go. 5.18. Vidya Vinaya Sampani Brahmane Gabihastini Sunichaiva Bhakti Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Translation. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision, a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater outcast. Hare Krishna.
You're muted, Raj.
Hello, Prabhu. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
5.18. Veda Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shupakecha Panditaha Samadashinaha. Prabhu, I forgot to memorize the translation. I slept the whole afternoon.
Okay, tomorrow it's all right. That is okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Mother Shraya, you want to do? You have 10 seconds. Are you there?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I will try next week. Thank you so much. I'm
Next
very
week?
sick.
Okay, it's all right.
I'm very
Thank you.
sick.
Time is over. Thank
I'm
you.
recovering.
Oh, it's all right. The time is over already. Jai. So let's continue. So we're going to be timing ourselves from now on. I'll put the time. You have to recite within that timing. If you don't recite, you miss opportunity to memorize that shloka. Because when the more you say it, the more it becomes your shloka. You know, you can easily reconnect and say it, you know, like that. So we are going to be timing ourselves from now on. Thank you for those who have made endeavor to recite. You will not know what you are memorizing now until in the future when you want to show that you're one of the senior devotees and you have to recite some shlokas to preach. Then you will appreciate what you are learning now. Okay, Hare Krishna. So let's continue. So we are continuing from text number
5.7.
Yeah, 5.7. Yeah. Yoga Yukto Vishodhatma Vijitatma Jitendriya Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma Kurvana Pinabli Piate. Actually, I should add this shloka as one of the shloka you should learn. I'm thinking maybe I should change my mind and add this shloka. But it's okay. Let's leave it. One who walks in devotion, who is pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always walking, such a man is never entangled. Okay, so Krishna is telling us the importance of engaging in devotional service. One who walks in devotion, who is a pure soul, and who control his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always walking, such a man is never entangled. So let's read Prabhupada's purport, then we can talk a little bit about the verse and the purport. Somebody want to read?
I read it,
Okay.
Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu Ryan.
Okay, you can go. Okay, I will go. Okay. One who is on the path of liberation by Krishna consciousness is very dear to every living being, and every living being is dear to him. This is due to his Krishna consciousness. Such a person cannot think of any living being as separate from Krishna, just as the leaves and branches of the tree are not separate from the tree. He knows very well that by pouring water on the root of the tree, the water will be distributed to all the leaves and branches, or by supplying food to the stomach, the energy is automatically distributed throughout the body. Because one who works in Krishna consciousness is servant to all. He is very dear to anyone. And because everyone is satisfied by his work, he is pure in consciousness. Because he is pure in consciousness, his mind is completely controlled. And because his mind is controlled, his senses are also controlled. Because his mind is always fixed on Krishna, there is no chance of his being deviated from Krishna, nor is there a chance that he will engage his senses in matters other than the service of the Lord. He does not like to hear anything except topics relating to Krishna. He does not like to eat anything which is not offered to Krishna, and he does not wish to go anywhere if Krishna is not involved. Therefore, his senses are controlled. A man of controlled senses cannot be offensive to anyone. One may ask, why then was Arjuna offensive in battle to others? Wasn't he in Krishna consciousness? Arjuna was only superficially offensive because, as has already been explained in the second chapter, all the assembled persons on the battlefield would continue to live individually as the soul cannot be slain. So spiritually, no one was killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Only their dresses were changed by the order of Krishna, who was personally present. Therefore, Arjuna, while fighting on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, was not really fighting at all. He was simply carrying out the orders of Krishna in full Krishna consciousness. Such a person is never entangled in the reaction of work. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So this verse is very, very important verse. As I was saying, maybe I need to add it as one of the memorizing shloka we should memorize. So here, Krishna is saying, one who walks in devotion, who is pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always walking, such a man is never entangled. And in the purport said, because one walks in Krishna consciousness, is a servant to all. It's very dear to everyone. And because everyone is satisfied by his work, he's pure in consciousness. Because he's pure in consciousness, his mind is completely controlled. And because his mind is controlled, his senses are also controlled. Because his mind is always fixed in Krishna, there is no chance of being deviated from Krishna. Nor is there a chance that he will engage his senses in matter other than the service of Krishna. So my question is that if a man who is dear to Krishna pure devotees have enemies. You see, some pure devotees, they have enemies. They have people who are like, they are criticizing them, trying to blackmail them, they say all kind of bad things, put their names on the internet, just to blackmail and, find fault in them. Why is that? It's supposed to be dear to everyone. But there's some people who are still finding fault in them. Why? So I'm asking a question now. I want to answer. Why? Why?
Prabhu, I'm just gonna clarify the question. Your question is, why are some devotees are finding fault between other devotees or to other devotees, correct or no?
So there's some pure devotees like our gurus. Okay, they're supposed to be dear to everyone, like Krishna is describing here. Why is it that some other devotee finds fault in them? Why?
Can I share something, Prabhu?
Yes, please.
Yeah, basically there was one example that was given by my aspiring guru. So basically during his class, he was asked about like a similar question. And there was this there were these devotees that were like saying that Srila Prabhupada gave out such strict implementations with the principles of the Sri Gaudiya Vaishnava. So he said like they said like why can't Srila Prabhupada lessen this rules and regulations that the devotees needs to be followed or to follow. And they were saying like Srila Prabhupada should have lessened these regulations so that a lot of people will join, because typically most people are finding these regulations kind of like too much for them to follow, because it's like too strict, and you cannot eat these, you cannot eat that. And they were saying something like this, so that in order for them to get like more people to join the movement, so they want like Srila Prabhupada to lessen this type of like regulations. So what my Guru Maharaja told at that time is basically he said that if such regulations and rules are not implemented by Srila Prabhupada, and people cannot follow such rules, then it means that it is not for them. So basically, they have to work on that aspect in their life in order for them to be able to follow, because they will not progress in the in the process of spiritual progression if they are just gonna compromise everything, like the rules and regulations that are being followed by Srila Prabhupada, but that's being implemented. So he said that these people are finding fault with regards to the injunctions of the implementations of the principles. So these are like obstacles in how you can follow your spiritual advancement, or how you can improve your spiritual advancement, because if you cannot accept these rules and regulations, then you cannot definitely go into the higher aspect of your spiritual life. So that's all.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy when I yes devotees trying to share their hearts and realizations. It's very wonderful, because that way make the class more dynamic, more interactive, and so we want to hear more devotees. Ma? No one is saying something. Oh, Krishna.
I want to add something, Prabhu, with what
Yes, please.
Mother Niharika just said. I
Yes,
totally agree with her.
yes,
Some of
yes.
the rules and regulations are actually not for everyone. Those who are only serious, we can see devotees that follow strictly the rules and regulations can easily counteract this offensive mentality or aparad to senior devotees, or especially a guru or a sannyasi. And what we have also discussed in the previous chapters, that only one, we can understand that only out of millions of people who try to practice Krishna consciousness, only one can gain perfection. So that's we can say how hard it is to follow all these rules and regulations. It's really hard to become like pure Krishna conscious. And also want to add that it also may come to you see anger or lust when senses and desires are not fulfilled. It will turn to offenses. Devotees or individual soul can get easily triggered. They can become angry, and then based on my experience, when I become offensive like this to other devotees, I can see that these are also my impurities. I can see it also through myself that I'm I'm seeing myself, or I'm seeing my faults through someone else, and then I'm angry with what I'm seeing. Like the saying, a thief is also angry with thieves. So like that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, I just want to hear you say something. Thank you for saying something. I'm really happy that you are saying something, and I really appreciate your contribution also. Raj, I saw your hands up. Can you unmute yourself and say something?
Oh, Prabhu, I just want to add something to what Mother Niharika and Prabhu said. I think that some devotees come from different backgrounds and they try to bend the rules so they can complete their material desires. Just like, for example, some people from Christianism, Christianism, yeah. They have some rules in them that, for example, when I ask why do you eat meat, they tell me that because in the New Testament Jesus gave us the right to eat everything that we want because he blessed it. And I think because of that, some people that come into Krishna consciousness, they kind of bend the rules so they can meet those desires.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me state my question again so that we can see something. My question is that a pure devotee, because a devotee is very dear to everyone. Why some people still find faults in a pure devotee, even though they are supposed to be dear to everyone? Okay, why some devotee find fault in them? They're supposed to be dear to everyone because they are pure devotee. They are doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna. They don't have enemy. Why some people are still finding fault in them, criticizing them? They are dear to everyone, but see, some people find fault in them. Yes, Raya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I think the main reason is it's because of ego, envy, and jealousy. It's like what we discussed about the aparada, Maryada Matikrama. One devotee can advance faster, or the devotee have more good qualities than other one, and the other one is being left behind, or there are so many reasons, but the bottom line of this are like jealousy, envy, and ego. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Thank you very much. So I really appreciate all of your contribution. And there's one statement in Srimad Bhagavatam. It describes the quality of a devotees. Titishava Karunika. This in Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter 25-21. It says, Titishava Karunika Surida Sarvadeinam Ajata Satrava Santa Sadava Sadubhushanam. So it mentioned that a devotee is Titisava Karunika. Is very tolerant, humble, and very compassionate to others. Surida Sarvadeinam is a well-wisher to all living entities. Ajatava Santarava. You see, that is one of the qualities of, what is his name? Yudhishthira Maharaj. Ajanta Satrava. Say, Ajata Satrava. What does that mean? Yudhishthira Maharaj is called one name, Ajatra Shatru. Ajatra Shatru. What does that mean? It means that one that is enemy has not been born. One that is enemy has not been born. What does that mean? When you say somebody enemy has not been born, it means Yudhishthira Maharaj never one day consider his enemy to be his enemy. You see? He never considered anyone to be his enemy. So that is why it is mentioned that one of his name is Ajata Satru. One that his enemy has not been born. Means that even though when you are acting inimical to him, when you are criticizing him, instead of him to become your enemy or become angry with you, he tries to find out why this person is not happy with me? Let me find out. And this incident happened one time when the guru sent two of them to go and check. He sent them with different questions. He told you this time, Maharaj, go and look for somebody who is better than you. And he told Duryodhana, go and look for somebody that you are better than in the kingdom. So Duryodhana went into the kingdom. He came back. He said, Guru Maharaj, there's no one that is better than me. I'm the best. And Yudhishthira Maharaj went around, going around. He came back. Maharaj, Gurudev, I was searching the kingdom to look for somebody that's better than me. I find one person. But when I went close to that person, it happens that the person, it was on Ekadasi day. The person was supposed to be fasting from Ekadasi, but I saw him fetching water. So I was thinking, now I found somebody that I'm better than. But when I now find out that actually the person was not fetching water for himself, he was fetching water to feed his animal. I now say, oh, even this person is even much more better than me because he's very more compassionate. So in this way, I cannot find anyone that I'm better than in this kingdom. At that point, Dronacharya concluded that Yudhishthira Maharaj will be the best king and Duryodhana will be the worst king. That is why you see in any organization, a great leader is the one who considers everyone under him or her to be better than them. And they try to, inspire to get the best out of everybody, because why? They know that they are better. Somehow or the other, they need some inspiration to bring their best out. So leadership means influence. So when you study more about leadership, there's one major characteristic of a leader: influence. One who can influence others to become best of whatever they need to be, or become best version of themselves. That is a true leader. If you study Srila Prabhupada, you will see Prabhupada, all his disciples, they become very wonderful disciples. Now they are becoming they also become very wonderful guru after Prabhupada left. That is a clear indication of a wonderful leader. It's one of the key indications of a wonderful leader. He makes others to become even greater than himself or herself. So in this way, Dronacharya could sense that Duryodhana will be a very bad leader. But Yudhishthira Maharaj will be a very great leader because he's very selfless and he considers others to be more better than himself. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that even though devotee is supposed to be very dear to everyone, people find fault in them because of envy, just like Prabhu said, Ryan said, because of envy, because of their previous conditioning, like one of the speakers said also. And in that way, they find fault in even in great souls out of false ego. But still, the devotee never consider them to be his enemy. That is why it's mentioned here, because his mind is controlled, because his senses are controlled. So when the mind and senses are controlled, you cannot be offensive to anyone. That's what Prabhupada said in the purport. Can somebody trace that in the purport? Anybody can trace that in the purport and read it?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhupada said, therefore his senses are controlled. A man of controlled senses cannot be offensive to anyone.
A man of a controlled senses cannot be offensive to anyone. It means that if we are offensive, our senses are not controlled. Because if you don't have control over your senses and your mind, you can easily become offensive to anyone. That is what Prabhupada is saying here. Those who have their mind and senses controlled, they're very careful. They don't want to be offensive to anyone. So when you find any devotee who is criticizing somebody who is trying to be a good devotee, and that person is still finding fault in that person, you know that because he's struggling with his senses and his mind. His senses and his mind are uncontrollable. That is why he can even find fault in somebody who is even trying better than himself. So we should take note of this, very important. So that when we find devotees who are offensive to even a saintly person, we should just understand their stage, understand their level, and try to avoid them. Okay? Because if you associate with such person also, they will contaminate you. You see? So, because everybody is trying their best to become pure. If you see all these our gurus, they are not telling you that they are pure devotees, even though we know that they are pure devotees. But they are trying their best. And still somebody will come and find fault in them due to their uncontrolled senses and mind. You see? So such devotees, we should avoid their association. Very important, because they will contaminate us. So let's continue. Five, 8 to 9. Naiva kinchika romiti yukto mayen tatatavit. Patience revans prishanjagra ashna kancha swaplans sachan pralapan visrijan grina mumisha nimisha mapi indriyan indriyarteshu vadata itidarayan. A person in divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening, or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and is alone. So that is why, like, I will just say something before we read Prabhupada's purport. See, there is no any reason. There is no any reason to criticize to criticize any serious devotee. Okay, sometimes we may find fault in some practitioners. Okay, this person could gossip. Okay, this person is like this person is like that. Okay, it's okay, we can do that. But for a serious devotees, there is no reason to find fault in them. Because sometimes it's due to false ego, like Prabhu Raya was saying, due to envy. And I will say, I always tell devotees like this. It's very funny, but you should write it down. Before you can criticize others, make sure that your sheets, I don't know how to pronounce it in a very nice way. Your what do you call it? How can you say it in a very nice way? Oh, Krishna.
Which one, Prabhu?
Defecation, the waste.
Feces?
Yeah, feces. Yeah, your stool. Before you can criticize any devotee, make sure that your stool is smelling like a guru, having a very nice jasmine smell. You understand? Before you can criticize anyone, make sure when you go inside the toilet to pass stool, your stool is smelling very nice, like jasmine rice, and you can stay there and sleep there. Just make sure that is your condition. If that is not your condition, you don't have any right to criticize anyone. That is my criteria.
Prabhu, what about constructive criticism?
Constructive criticism is okay, but it has to be done in the right way. You understand? See, one thing about constructive criticism is that even though it's constructive, if it's not done in the right way, the person will become offensive and defensive. And when the person becomes offensive, defensive, then you are in trouble also, even though it's constructive. So that is why it is mentioned when we were doing our Vaishnava etiquette, those who participated in that, they can tell to this. It is mentioned how, if you want to correct, do constructive criticism to your senior, there is a procedure. You don't go directly to tell the senior. You have to talk to someone who is on equal level with him. Because in our society, according to culture, you cannot find fault in your senior. They will not take it. Forcibly will not allow them to take it. You see? But there's a right way to do that. Even though the person is wrong, we know, we can see that it's wrong. The best way to do that is that our senior can take correction from his equal or someone who is higher than him. So you have to approach his equal and say, oh, Prabhuji, oh, Mataji, see, I saw this is happening, you know, I think it's not right. I will be very happy, you know, this is how it's supposed to be done according to the scripture. If we can do this, I'm very sure it will be very wonderful, you know. That is constructive because you are giving solution also, you see, it's constructive. But you are telling to somebody who can pass it to the person in the right way. So when that person goes to the person and say, oh, you see, I think we can do this way, you know. This way we are doing it, we can see it's not bringing good results. So if we do it like this, I think it will be very nice. He will say, okay. You know, they will speak like friend. He will accept it. But he will never accept that from his junior. You see? So constructive criticism is okay, but it has to be done in the right spirit and in the right way. Destructive criticism is not allowed. Only one who can criticize anyone is your guru. Your guru has the right to chastise you. And S. Is that okay? Ryan Prabhu hand is up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Okay, you just said that constructive criticism will not work. Anyway, I just want to add to that topic because that constructive.
No, I didn't get your first statement. You say I said what?
It's not allowed, right? The constructive criticism because you need to.
I didn't say like that. You didn't get me. Maybe the line was breaking when I was speaking. I didn't say like that. Someone want to repeat what I said? No, wait. You have to get it right first. Somebody want to repeat so that Prabhu can understand what I said.
I repeat it, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So basically, Prabhu Kavi said that constructive criticism is allowed, but you have to approach the person who is on the same level of that person that you're trying to tell that constructive criticism that you have.
Thank you very much. Ryan, Prabhu, do you get that now?
Yes, Prabhu, understood. Now, I just want to add about the topic of constructive criticism as what Mother Nikki just said earlier, because in doing constructive criticism, first of all, you need to assess the person, right? You see, there is a neophyte devotee. When you see that person is the action, that person is having a toxic behavior, even criticizing and blaspheming senior devotees. But you cannot, that constructive criticism, you cannot apply to that person because first thing, you are not on the same level, even if the senior, the devotee in position in the senior is criticizing and blaspheming that neophyte devotee, then you can see the action of this neophyte is not improving, and you can always witness from the other person. And I think that is the time you need to step up, because it will not listen unless that person will follow the regulation, will chant. Then one day the bhakti will sprout in his heart, and or the heart of that person. Then I think that's the time when you can see the sentiments of that person is improving in a positive way. You can see the actions. Then I think that's the time you can talk to that person. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Actually, like I said, we don't have any right to correct anyone if they are not our disciples, okay? Or if you are not on the pure platform, that when you go to the toilet, you pass stool, your stool is smelling very nicely and everybody can appreciate it. If you are not on that level, you don't have right to correct anyone. No right. You know, it is mentioned when Rishabhadev Maharaj was moving around, it was so pure that when he passed through, his stool will be smelling like aguru. Aguru is one of the best fragrance in India. See, they say when he passed through, his stool will be smelling like aguru. So if you are not on that level, that when you pass through, your stool starts smelling like jasmine or aguru or rose soaked water, you don't have a right to correct anyone. Just focus on yourself and work on yourself. Okay? Just work on yourself and work on yourself, and you don't have the right to correct anyone. If you find that what the person is doing is detrimental, and you have to say something, then you go to the right authority just to help the person. Okay, so as a devotee, we have to be very, very careful, because I find out we love gossiping a lot. You know, we enjoy gossip. We relish it like nectar. Oh, yes, tell me what is going on. You know, yes, I want to know. You start relishing it. Oh, like you are in Baba, you know. You see, so because criticism actually starts from gossip. You see, once you start gossiping about other devotees, then you start criticizing them. It's very simple. You see, so if you avoid gossip, you will avoid criticism. It's very simple. But because of our conditioning nature, we love gossip more than chanting. You see, when they say, let us chant together, we find excuse to not to chant together. But when they say, oh, do you know what happened to that devotee? Oh, please tell me. Your eyes will become like bright, like lotus petals, you know. Your hair will start standing on hand, you know. You start expressing all the ecstatic symptoms just because you want to hear about you want to hear about the other devotees, what is going on with them. So we have to be very, very careful that we avoid gossiping. It's very important, because gossip is where lusty desire grows. Gossip is where criticism for other devotee will grow. Gossip is where envy for other devotee will grow. Gossip actually destroys bhakti. That is why it is mentioned we should avoid prajalpa. It's called prajalpa. You see? So I remember one devotee. Was a very, very wonderful brahmachari for many years. He was my friend when we were in Mayapur. His name is Dinadaya Prabhu. I don't know, maybe many of you know him. They say, I heard that Indrajumna Maharaj came here before. You will have seen him. He's one devotee who was doing all the sword display and the acrobatic display in the group of Indrajumna Maharaj. His name is Dinadaya Prabhu. It's my good friend when we were in Mayapur. So we were together in Mayapur. It was a brahmachari. I was a brahmachari that time. It was a very nice devotee. So one day, because so many things was happening in Mayapur, I could not contain myself. So I went to him. I said, Prabhu, you see this devotee, that devotee. He said, oh, Kavi Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu, please, 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 I don't want to hear because I cannot do anything about it. Please, please, please. Just by that association, I get purified. I felt like ashamed of myself. Oh, this is a very nice devotee. He doesn't want to hear gossip, He doesn't want to hear criticism. Oh, Krishna, this is what I'm supposed to be practicing. He said, Prabhu, please, I cannot do anything about that. Please, please, don't tell me. You see? So, if we were to be another devotee, say, oh, please tell me. Yes. Oh, in that way, we become so absorbed in gossip about other devotees. Meanwhile, our home problem is here that we are not able to solve. We have so many problems in our life. We have so many faults in our life. We have so many conditioning in our life. Instead of us to try to get the mercy of the devotees so that we can be happy, so that we can be able to solve our problems, we love to gossip about them. So in that way, we become offensive to devotees gradually. Then gradually we make advancement. Because if you are not making advancement in spiritual life, you will make advancement in criticizing others. So when we make advancement from criticizing other devotees, we go to the level of the sciences. Then we start finding fault in all the sciences. We start seeing how they are not pure. Then we will graduate from the sciences, we go to the gurus. My guru is better than your guru is like this, is like that. Then we will make advancement, we'll come to the level of Krishna. Then we'll start finding fault in Krishna. Once we get to the level of Krishna, then there's nobody to have faith in again now. Before you know, boom, you bloop, you go back to your former life. This is how people live devotional service subtly. Okay? So we have to be very careful. We have to be very, very conscious of all this. There is no one that cannot be kicked out of devotional service, no matter how advanced you may be. If many of those people who are very close to Prabhupada left after Prabhupada left, who are we? We don't even have faith like them. We were not close to Prabhupada like them. Who are we that cannot give up the part of devotional service? So we have to be very, very, you will see so many people. When you listen to Prabhupada Lilamrita, you will hear their names, how great they were during Prabhupada's time. But many of them are not in devotional service now. You see? Many of them have become ordinary people in their country. Nobody hear about them. Even when they want to come on the association of devotees, they try to hide themselves and all those things, even though they are already developing another attraction to come back. But they cannot come back again like that. So we have to be very, very careful, because this part of devotional service is a great privilege for us to have it. We have to maintain it. We should not find fault in other devotees, because actually there is no fault to be found. That fault is in us. So let us continue to struggle to find our own faults. Although we know that it's very pleasurable to find fault in others, it makes you feel good that you are better than somebody. But that pleasure ultimately will destroy us. So don't let us take pleasure in that. Let us see our own faults and try to work on ourselves. That is where this advancement in spiritual life will come from. Okay? So let's continue. Somebody want to read the Prabhupada's purpose?
Read it, Prabhu.
Yes.
A person in Krishna conscious is pure in his existence and consequently has nothing to do with any work which depends upon 5 immediate and remote causes: the doer, the work, the situation, the endeavor, and fortune. This is because he is engaged in the loving transcendental service of Krishna. Although he appears to be acting with his body and senses, he is always conscious of his actual position, which is spiritual engagement. In material consciousness, the senses are engaged in sense gratification. But in Krishna consciousness, the senses are engaged in the satisfaction of Krishna's senses. Therefore, The Krishna conscious person is always free, even though he appears to be engaged in affairs of the senses. Activities such as seeing, hearing, are actions of the senses meant for receiving knowledge, whereas moving, speaking, evacuating, etc., are actions of the senses meant for work. A Krishna conscious person is never affected by the actions of the senses. He cannot perform any act except in the service of the Lord, because he knows that he is the eternal servitor of the Lord.
So there is no reason to find fault in the activities of devotees because they are fixed in the service of Krishna. You know, especially the gurus and the sannyasi, we can see that they are fixed in the service of Krishna. Whatever faults we are seeing in them is due. Sometimes you see, sometimes let me make it simpler for us. Okay. Let me break it down. I remember in my country, we have a very senior Maharaj, you know. So many devotees, they have so many things to talk in terms of some particular contradictory behavior about the sannyasi or whatever. You know, so I'm the one who are always trying to help them to really bring them to the right consciousness. Let me explain to you. It's like this. As long as you have the mundane body, you are going to have shortcomings, because this mundane body, this material body, has its own shortcomings. You see? So whatever shortcomings you are seeing in all those devotees who are already fixed in Krishna consciousness is due to the body they have. As long as they are fixed in chanting of their rounds, fixed in the service of Krishna, you cannot criticize them. You don't have rights. Prabhupada said their situation is like turning off this fan. When you turn off the fan will continue to roll before it now come to stand still. So for a devotee who has completely absorbed in devotional service, engaged in Krishna consciousness, it's like that fan. Because he's now absorbing Krishna consciousness, is absorbing devotional service. He has no karma, he's pure. But the body is having, it's like the fan that is continuing to roll, even though the electricity has been disconnected. So in that situation, we cannot find faults in that fan. That why are you still rolling? I think it's already been disconnected. Why are you still rolling? Just allow it. It's just a matter of time. When the devotee will change the body, he has no all those imperfections again in him. That is why this verse is saying, even such a devotee who is already on that transcendental level, seemingly may look as if he's performing or engaging in senses in ordinary material activities, is completely transcendental. Because he already understands his constitutional position. He knows that he's servant of Krishna, that only the senses are engaged in the action of the senses, but he's completely aloof from that. That is their position. And that is why we cannot criticize a sincere, pure devotee of Krishna. And that is why Krishna went to the length to say, Apishe Sudura Charo, 9:30. Who can open to 9:30? If you are very fast, open to 9:30 and read it to us very loudly. That is why Krishna went to that far to mention that in that Bhagavad Gita. What did he say?
Translation.
Yes.
If one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
You understand? Krishna is saying here, even if one commits the most abominable action, is considered Apishe Suduracharo, is saintly because he's properly situated. is feast in devotional service. Only very few devotees understand this verse. And that is why we cannot criticize the gurus, the sciences. We cannot judge them based on their past. We have to be very careful because Krishna is the supreme, is the supreme judge. So if Krishna is giving this verse in the Bhagavad Gita 9:30, who are we to judge anyone? Okay? Any comment or contribution, please, so that we can round up the class? Or question?
I just want to add something with regards to that, Prabhu. Prabhupada also
Yes, go
gave
ahead.
a very nice example of the moon. When we see the moon when it's full, we can also see the pock marks or the what you call this,
Craters?
the craters, exactly, the craters of the moon. So it's like that. So for devotees, we can, it's easier for us, or for an individual, for anyone, it's easier for us to see the fault in someone. So like this.
Thank you very much. Yeah, actually. So, like I said today, before you criticize any senior devotee or any guru or any science or any serious devotee, now you should take this as your parameter. When you start evacuating and your stool is smelling like rose or rose-scented water, okay, then you can criticize anyone. If you have not come to that level, you don't have right to criticize. So that should be the benchmark, okay? That should be the benchmark. The day you come to that level, you become so transcendental that when you pass stool, you can sleep inside the toilet without not being disturbed. Then you can criticize serious devotee. Okay. If you have not reached that level, my brothers and my sisters, keep your mouth shut. Okay. There's so many other good quality we can find in devotees. Let's us look for them because there's so many faults in this world anyway. So why are we looking for more faults? Let's look for good things. Okay. We have 1 minute more.
There is also a nice example from the Bible. I forgot exactly who told it, but it's a very famous scene when Jesus Christ was being crucified, or being, how you call this, punished. Someone said that whoever has not sinned, cast the first stone. So
Oh, no. Was a prostitute.
there was a prostitute.
Yeah,
So
was
we
the
can,
story of the prostitute.
so we can understand that we can also apply the same thing, that
Very
if
good,
we,
very good illustration, actually, very good example. You see, Jesus Christ, there was this prostitute because they discovered, they find out that the woman was a prostitute. He was sleeping with another man. Maybe he has his husband, and they find him sleeping with another man. So they wanted to stone him to death. Okay. So he ran and grabbed Jesus. So Jesus have to save her. Say, whoever, who have not sinned, like her, should cast the first stone. You see, one thing I've discovered with we human beings is like this. I've been analyzing this and studying this. I've seen it also when I was a manager. And that is why I've learned this principle also as a manager. You don't call somebody a thief unless you caught the person stealing. Even though if you think he's stealing, even though you feel that he's stealing, still you don't have the right to call him a thief. You have to get the proof first. Still, you do, even though you are the manager, you are the leader, just because you think, you feel, oh, you are a thief, it's not right. You see? So what I'm trying to say is like this. Even though we all know that we are committing sin, we are full of faults, we are full of irregularities in our life, we are still very bold and very anxious to criticize others just because no one has caught us. That is what Jesus Christ did to that woman. You see? All of them, they're very eager to stone the woman to death. He told them, if you have not seen like her, you stone first. You will see what will happen to you. And all of them started dropping the stone and run away. Because they know that they are committing the same sin like her. But because they are not being caught, and this woman has been caught, so we have to kill her. You see? So that is the reason, that is why I gave this criteria. Unless you start passing stool that is smelling like rose or a guru, don't criticize others. Is it not the criteria I gave? Is it not very good one? Is it not a good one? Please tell me.
It's impossible, Prabhu.
Is it not good? Huh? Is it possible? It's possible. When you become pure, when you become so pure, you see, when you eat, your food also will become transcendental inside you because you are so pure. So that food will not smell, will not have dirty smell again. You see, when your food is still having dirty smell, it means that you are still very sinful. Your stomach is very dirty. You see?
Prabhu, even if your diet is just milk for the whole year, it's never gonna smell like a rose or jasmine, your stool.
If you are so pure, it will not have bad smell. It's just like there is this in Garuda Purana, it is mentioned. If somebody smell like a goat, e-goat, have you seen? Do you know how e-goat smell?
Goat?
You know e-goats, e-goats. You know the smell of a e-goat?
E-goat?
G-O-A-T, G-O-A-T.
Oh yes,
goat.
a goat.
Ah,
Yes,
a
no,
goat.
It's like a sheep.
Do you know
A
how
goat,
it
a
smells?
goat.
Do you know?
Smells like-
Do you know how e-goats smell?
It smells like fresh
Stinky.
grass.
Thank
No,
you.
not.
No.
It smells like pee. It smells like pee.
It's very bad smell. Very bad smell. Some human being has ego smell. So Garuda Purana say any human being who smell like e-goats, he committed at what do you call it? He has asked a union with his spiritual master wife in his previous life. You understand? Do you get my point? He committed an adultery with his spiritual master wife in his past life. So he has to smell stinkingly that people will know that this guy is bad. You see, I've seen people who smell like he-goat before. I've seen in my country. I don't know about here, you know. So, but I've come across people like that before. Have you come across somebody like that before?
There's also some people like that also here, Prabhu. Some of them just wanders around.
Yeah, they smell like e-goats. Yeah, because in their past life, they sleep with their spiritual master wife. You see? So that smell comes with them. You see? So that's what I'm saying. The smell that come out from your body tells so much about your body. So if you still have smell in your body that you have to use so much perfume, you don't have the right to criticize anyone. Just take this simple logic to avoid criticizing others. Okay? It's a simple logic, okay? Just as
That's actually a good practice.
You understand? You understand? As long as you are not so transcendental to this level that you don't have good smell when you go inside the CR, don't criticize anyone. Simple. Okay?
That's very
Hare
good
Krishna.
practice, Prabhu. And we can also tell others the same thing, what we have learned. To avoid criticism. That's very nice. That's very good.
Hare Krishna, Jai. Vancha Kavatara Vyasya Kripasinda Vacha. Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. So see you tomorrow.
On Monday. Monday. Monday,
Monday.
Prabhu.
Oh, sorry. On Monday.
Tomorrow is
Okay, see you on
Saturday.
Monday.
Saturday.
See you
Oh.
on Monday. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu,
Yes, see you on Monday.
one
Hare
quick
Krishna.
picture. One quick picture. Class picture.
Okay.
Mother
As usual.
Asharaya, can you open your camera or no?
Camera, just for picture. Okay. Hare Krishna. Maybe she's not ready for that.
Okay.
It's okay. Let's continue.
Hare Krishna. Okay, everyone, smile. Look at your cameras. 1,
Jai.
2, 3.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
There you go.
There you
Hare
go.
Krishna.
Okay, thank you,
Jai.
Prabhu Kavi. Thank you,
Hare
everyone.
Bol.
Have a great weekend, everyone.